Hello and welcome to the Spanish Grand Prix for the North American Xbox League Tier 3. We're here in Barcelona to start our qualifying here, short qualifying. Once we get this set up shortly, we're going to go ahead and ride on board with Squirmy as he starts his flying lap just now across the line. Braking hard into turn one, riding through this high-speed chicane at 100. Oh, and he spins. Squirmy has spun on turn two. And we're going to go on board now with, I believe, Sprightly B, who has just passed him. I'll take that back. That's actually LDR Redeemer. The Squirmy spun on his first flying lap. Looks like he's slowed down as well. Looks like Buttersocks or Grago are on their final flyer right now. We'll go on board with Grago. The strategy here looks to be a one-stop. Medium to hards is generally the consensus here. Buttersocks comes up to the line and across the line, sets the fastest lap so far with a 121.9, quickly taken over by Hoping Corn with a 121.2. These are both on the hard tires. As we have Sensational now rounding the final corner as well. We'll see what time he can post. Just a 122.1 on the hard compound tires with Grago setting a 128. I'm sure that must have been a banker lap for him or some mistake was made. Go on board with, Alabama Outlaw as he rounds the final corner as Cheesy Train sets the fastest lap on the hard tires with Alabama Outlaw, the gunslinger from Alabama, setting a 119.4 on the soft compound tires. Alabama Outlaw, definitely one to look out for here as we have Outlaw and Denver Glover, both are new drivers for this race. This is both their first race in MRC, so definitely ones to watch out for. Currently Cheesy Train on top of the hard compound runners as Jaylee Bowens goes second on the softs with a 19.8. Jaylee Bowens currently sitting in second place in the championship standings. So the fact that Alabama Outlaw has set a lap that quick on the same compound tire says he's definitely going to join this battle quite quickly here. As Cheesy Train has retired from the session. Not sure what happened there. Maybe he was satisfied with his lap. See if we can find him on track. There he is. Oh, and he's spun on the high-speed right-hander there onto the back straight. Definitely a place to watch out for, as that is where you can easily lose it. We'll try and find someone who is on their hot lap. Let's see what MRC Batman's doing. Anything quick? Looks like he's going rather slow here. Let's see if he starts his flying lap now. No, and he ducks into the pits, so he'll cancel that. We can go on board with MRC Jules as he takes us around a flyer of the Spain circuit, locking up into turn one on the hard tires here. Looks like we have Cheesy Train and Strat saying, that damn right-hander. Sir, you're correct. That's one to look out for. Cheesy Train, our current championship leader, so that will definitely hurt his chances here at trying to maintain that lead. We'll see how he can come back through the field and possibly challenge Redeemer, Jaylee Bowens, and Alabama Outlaw at the front. As Jules shifts down to fourth gear through this uphill left-right flat-out chicane here. This is right where Cheesy Train had messed up earlier, but Jules able to make it through pretty seamlessly here. Missing the apex by quite a bunch there. So you have some traffic coming up. Grago on the outside. Well done by him to let the hot lappers through. Into sector 3. Down through the final chicane. These curbs are brutal if you hit them wrong. Using that outside curb and flat out through this right-hander. Activating the DRS and across the line. It is a 121.5 on the hard tires. So not a bad lap from Jules there. Definitely has a bunch of time to make up as he locked up and missed a couple apexes, but it looks like he may be going. That was an identical lockup as before. He may be going for another lap here. For now, let's go on board with Jaylee Bowens. So it looks like he's setting another flyer on the softs. And he is, yeah. We'll see what time he puts up to the line here. This is his third lap on the softs, it looks like. A 19.469. So he is exactly 3/100ths off the leader, current pole sitter, Alabama Outlaw. Cheesy training the chat. I'm going to pull a Vettel at Germany and go from the back to a podium. I'm going to up the ante and say you should go from the back to P1. Although you never know, your lap may have been good enough to even start in the top 10. We'll see how it goes. See if anyone's on a flyer right now. It looks like Jelly Bone's going for another. No, he's cooling down now. It's like Hoping Corn now on the mediums. He's on a flyer. Rich Mix and ERS set to hot lap. So the only one not to set a lap so far is MRC Batman, as he looked to may have messed up his first lap, but he looks like he's back out now, trying to set a lap on those medium tires. As Hoping Corn goes a little wide into sector 3. And he'll go ahead and abandon that lap. He may have gotten a DQ there from that lap as he went very wide off the track. Looks like he'll start up now again. We'll ride on board with Batman as he's on a flyer currently. See if he sets a faster lap time than the other medium runners. The two Red Bull brothers not doing too hot right now, but there's still plenty of time left in the session. So we'll see if they stick on these medium compound tires. Missing my apex by just a little bit there. Rounding that final chicane, using up all the curve as he can. Activating that DRS and across the line with a 120.7. So that puts him in second of the medium runners and currently in provisional 5th place. And Gilzo, thank you. Appreciate the comments, thoughts, and concerns in the chat. Track was China. Well, yeah, that's your OG track, right? Cheesy Train. See if anyone's out on track. Hoping Corn is back on his flyer, I do believe. Nope, he's hopping in the pits. We'll abandon that. But it looks like we're on board with a heavily ERS depleted Butter Socks, who may have just set his lap as well. But we'll look to Grago as he finds his way in sector 2. Coming up to the quick right-hander. Got some traffic coming up. We'll see what happens. Activating that DRS down the back straight. Heavy braking point down to second or first gear. As the Red Bull takes the escape route to avoid any intersection there. Down into Sector 3, my least favorite part of the track. I can never get this right. We'll see if Grago does. See, exits the final corner. Looks pretty smooth there. Flat on the throttle. Completely out of ERS now. Crosses the line and sets a 120.9. So 4th out of the medium runners here. It's looking good. 5 minutes, 6 minutes left about in this qualifying session here with the NAXBL T3. It's like Buttersocks is indeed crossing the line, and Orange Crush has retired for this session. Let's see if we can find where he went wrong. And Cheesy Train, I've already tweeted it, so we are all good as Squirmy goes for a flying lap. As this title says EUXBL, even though I updated it. SMH Twitch. Let's do that. Save. Update. Alright. Thanks, Twitch. Appreciate you. Squirmy heads into Sector 2. Hop behind that Red Bull of MRC Sensational, I believe, as he'll let him by. So we'll head back on board with Squirmy. Squirmy up to the line. He does a 119.8. Quick lap on the mediums by him. Puts him second just behind. Let's see. Apologies, that'll be first of the medium runners. So good on him there. So it looks like we have Denver Glover going for another flyer. Just exiting the final corner. Scraping as much ERS as he can as he has left. And he's unable to set a lap, I believe. Unless he went slightly faster, but not fast enough. Still 4 seconds off the pace there. As Alabama Outlaw is still your provisional pole sitter. It's a pretty good start for him for his first race in MRC, if you ask me. Oh, as we catch Hoping Corn spinning this great Cody's angle. Looks like he was on a flyer as well on the hard tires. See some clouds in the sky. I wonder if weather will affect this race. Unfortunately, as the commentator, we are unable to see any sort of weather forecast at Cody's, please, or the track map, which I would very much like. So we'll have to scroll through everyone to see where they're at on the track. But it looks like we may have just basically everyone on their outlap. Jay Lee looks like he's starting a flyer right now on the medium tires. We'll see how quick he can go. Clouds are definitely rolling in here at Circuit de Catalunya. You'd love to see a wet weather race. Definitely spices the championship up a little bit, as we've seen in the real F1 at Germany. Midfield completely rearranged, so we'll see if this affects it at all. Squirmy goes way wide on the exit of the right-hander onto the back straight, and he will abandon that lap as it looks like he may have invalidated. Sorry, Jay Lee Bowens, rather. As we have Sprightly B on a flyer now. as Denver Glover has retired. Wonder if that was an on-track incident or he was in the pits. We have 1 minute left in this qualifying session, so I'm sure many drivers will be just starting their hot laps for the final time. As Sprightly B is on the hards, trying to top his time as he spins in the ever so rough curb section of Sector 3, as we see the McLaren of Grago now cross the line with a 120.1 on the soft compound tires, and we'll hop on board now with, I believe it was Hoping Corn that's coming around. Onto the back straight here. Excuse me, I'm blind. That is not the back straight at all. But still, rather, the entrance of Sector 2. Jaylee Bones still just... Oh, as Hoping Corn completely drives out of the camera angle there. We can't see anything, but he has hit the wall, it seems, and lost, yep, his end plate there has come off. So his lap is done, and we'll go on board now with Sensational as he's starting his final lap. That's pretty good timing by him. He'll be on the mediums there. See who's close here as Grago enters the final portion of the circuit. And he'll dip into the pits. Just kidding. Jaylee looks like he's on a flyer as well. We'll see if he comes around the corner. Plenty of DRS left, though. We'll see if he improves his time. He does not. Hop on board with Sensational. He seems to be the last one to challenge for pole position, as he has abandoned his lap as well. So I don't think anyone will finish here on the final stages of qualifying. Looks like Grago has pit. Hoping Corn has pit. Yeah, that'll be it. So, if I'm not mistaken, Alabama Outlaw, the gunslinger from down south, in his first ever MRC race, is your pole sitter for the Barcelona Grand Prix with NAXBL T3. Congrats to him. But do keep in mind, he and Jay Lee are on the soft compound tires, so those medium runners behind him definitely have an advantage in terms of strategy. We'll see how it goes. But for now, Alabama Outlaw, your pole sitter, followed by Jay Lee Bowens, XGC Squirmy, and MRC Sensational. As Cheesy Train says he would have had pole. So here you have it. Your starting grid as Jay Lee Bones misses pole by 3/100th of a second. What a margin there. With Squirmy just 4/10 behind in the medium. Not a bad pace there, as well as MRC Sensational. Both fairly close behind. Followed by Grago, LDR Redeemer, MRC Cheesy Train, who retired early in the session, starting on those hards. MRC Batman, Red Bull Racing, Sprightly B, and Buttersocks to round off the top 10. Orange Crust starting in 11th here today, followed by Hoping Corn, MRC Joel's, and to round off the grid, we have Denver Glover of the Williams in his first MRC race. Now we'll wait for the drivers to pick their tire strategy as well as their fuel load, as well as make any minor tweaks they can to their setup that is allowed. Before the start of this Grand Prix, as Hoping Corn is ready to go, which will trigger the rest of the field to get ready as well. Here we are, set for the formation lap for the Spanish Grand Prix as the drivers start their engine and take off. Getting those heat into that tires. We'll set up the lap data for you here. So, to inform you all of the standings, currently we have Cheesy Train of the Renault in first place. He is now 26 points ahead in the championship lead of Jaylee Bowens, who's in second place. So Jaylee Bowens has a good chance here to get some points back at Cheesy Train. In third, we have LDR Redeemer, who seems to be in a pretty good spot, I would say, on the medium tires to try and capture a podium here, with Grago followed behind closely in fourth. Orange Kush is in fifth place, followed by MRC Sensational, followed by MRC Kirk, MRC J Warren, and from fourth place to eighth place, there's about a 5-point gap. So very tight midfield here today, and a lot of things could be shaken up. Hoping Corn in ninth place, and RBRL Bianchi in 10th place, championship standing. So definitely a lot to play for here in the midfield, and we'll see how Jaylee Bowens can possibly close the gap to Cheesy Train, as well as we'll see how Alabama Outlaw does on his debut race, starting from pole. Gets way ahead of the formation lap there and is on the grid, ready to go. We'll see if we can change this camera angle. As Denver Glover isn't in the session, so we'll see if he's able to somehow join back. The drivers are now ready. Lights are on. 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it's lights out. Away we go for the Spanish Grand Prix. Alabama gets a good start as one of the Red Bulls comes over and takes off some front wing. Alabama commanding lead already as Squirmy makes a move on Jaylee Bowens, as Jaylee Bowens goes round, almost able to save it as one of the Alfa Romeos of Sprightly B has indeed spun. As we have a yellow flag now in Sector 1 as one of the Red Bulls goes wide again. Alabama Outlaw just narrowly ahead of Squirmy as Denver Glover has joined back in the session all the way fairly cleanly as we have a Red Bull who has lost connectivity. We'll go back up to leaders now as Alabama Outlaw and Squirmy have pulled a little bit away from the pack. So far, so decent, as Alabama Outlaw has done a good job of keeping, as there's another wing flying down the straight almost as fast as the cars going by, as we have Hoping Corn going for a passer. We'll see who else can make a move. Sensational now has a yellow as he's spun as well, so we have, well, his wing is completely gone. That is unfortunate for him. Not a great start for the Red Bull driver, as well as his teammate MRC Batman, who is completely ghosted out. But after the first lap, Alabama Outlaw is your leader on the soft tires, with Squirmy following closely behind on the medium tires. Another yellow flag in Sector 3. We'll see if Denver Glover is able to join back in. He is not. That is unfortunate. MRC Batman seems like he's disconnected from the session still, as Jules is up into 8th place now. Cheesy Train looking to make a move on Grago. Great camera angle here from Codemasters. Not sure what's happening. Not close enough there for a dive yet. Remember, DRS has not yet been enabled, so we will try and see if Cheesy Train can make a pass here. as LDR Redeemer gets fairly close to the racing point of Jaylee Bones, who has dropped and had a not so great a start. Here comes Easy Train out of the exit of the final corner. Seems a bit far back as Alabama Outlaw sets the next fastest lap. Too far back, it looks like, for Cheesy. You won't be able to catch him this time. Once DRS comes, that'll be a great help. As LDR Redeemer is right on the back of Jaylee Bones. Very close battle here. Going defensive, able to do the switchback, and LDR Redeemer makes the move. Does he make it stick through the next corner? Jaylee goes for a dive and takes the position back, but LDR Redeemer is still right there on the outside, as a little nudge is given to Jaylee from LDR. And this, in turn, has allowed Orange Crush to catch right up to the back of them, as LDR now has plenty of room to go as he goes defensive and dives down the inside, pushing out Jay Lee wide, making the move. And in the meantime, Orange Crush is able to make his way up as Jay Lee spins. Oh no. Jay Lee has spun in the ensuing battle. Redeemer has inherited the position up to 4th place. That is unfortunate for him. It was a little argy-bargy battle there. But his Cheesy Train is right on the tail now of Grago, as I believe he does have DRS, yes, and he'll go to the inside. Easy pass there, going defensive into the corner, and he's able to hold off Grago. Cheesy Train already up into 2nd place, making the charge towards Squirmy. He's got a lot to hold off now. We'll see if he can chase down the leader here before the first pit stop. And we have someone in the chat talking. It sounds like MRC Batman, unfortunately. But we'll go on board now with Buttersocks, as he seems to be close. I'm going to try and remind the drivers to mute themselves. Yes, that is indeed MRC Batman trying to contact his brother. If I wish I could tell him, just hit A on your car, take control. You'll be back in the race. We'll see where he's at. Currently ghosted. 3 seconds behind Alabama. That's interesting. Let's see what tire. Did I completely miss that? Yes, I did. It looks like Alabama Outlaw may have spun. As we are now listening to the struggles of Batman. We're back on board with Squirmy as Cheesy Train is now within 7/10. He's closed on him right quick, even on the harder compound tires. Hopefully Batman can sort this out quickly so we can close this conversation. Try. I just want to tell him he needs to click on the driver. Take control right there. Oh, there he goes. I think he got it. Yep. Let's see if MRC Batman is back in it. Yes, he is. Back on his car. Back in action. Let's see what places he can make up now after that lovely phone call with his brother of MRC Sensational. As Grago has now pitted, one of the first to pit here for an actual pit stop without a front wing change. Goes on to the medium, so he'll be doing a definite 2-stop. As Cheesy Train looking to make a move on Squirmy. Batman now inherits 8th place. We'll see what he can do here. Buttersox looking to make a move on Hoping Corn. Cheesy will have DRS here, but too far back to make a move. Rounding the final chicane, he's right on his tail. See how good of an exit he can get. Looks like Cheesy Train has the DRS now in full overtake mode. Plenty of ERS to go. We'll see if Squirmy goes defensive at all. He is not. But Cheesy Train's too far back to make the move, and Squirmy holds him off. As Alabama Outlaw has now pitted. And I'm not sure what happened initially. We may have missed his fall from first place. But right now, the lead is all about Squirmy and Cheesy Train, who are on completely different strategies. Looks like they're both going for a one-stop, but on different tires. This battle for the lead could get spicy. Squirmy's doing everything he can now to get a good exit out of this sector as the yellow flag in sector 2. See if anyone loses positions here. Doesn't look like it. May have been some wing damage as Cheesy's now right on the tail of Squirmy with DRS. See if he can get a move done as Squirmy's lagging a little bit. It's a dangerous move when the driver's lagging. Looks to make the move quite easily there. Holds the inside. Will Squirmy strike back as he's right on his tail now? Looks like no, he'll go wide, and Cheesy Train has now inherited the lead on the hard tires here at Barcelona on lap 8. Plenty of room to go. As Hoping Corn may have just made a move on Jules as Buttersocks in the McLaren goes way wide there. As Jules is looking to make a lot of places here. He's now in 5th place after starting pretty far down the grid. As Redeemer picks up the first penalty of this race so far, a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits there. As Jules is now right on the tail of Hoping Corn. It's going to be a very close one here coming out of this Sector 3 onto the final straight. We'll get a look here as Jules seems to be a little bit too far back. Buttersocks will get DRS as well. See if he goes for the move here. Around the outside as Hoping Corn goes defensive. I'm going to make the move stick as Buttersocks is now right on as he gets a little squirmy. As Squirmy, we've missed Orange Crush overtakes Squirmy as well. And Squirmy has gone wide now. He may have wing damage. He may have spun trying to push to catch back. Yes, his front wing is completely severed on the left side. That is super unfortunate for him. He was looking to have a good battle with Cheesy Train. He'll have to limp back to the pits now. We'll see what he can do. As Hoping Corn is trying to get around him as soon as possible. He's able to make the move now. Super unfortunate for Cheesy there. Buttersocks gets a little bit wide. He'll be looking down to chase Squirmy. Maybe use him for a DRS. He gets awfully close now. Makes the move easily before Sector 3. Final portion of Sector 3. As Batman now is on the charge. We'll see if he can make a move. He'll be definitely getting DRS from Squirmy. That's going to help him out a lot. Squirmy finally enters the pits, and he'll need to change his wings. Looks like he'll have to go to the hard tire to the rest of the race. We'll see what he does. He will go to the hard tire, but he will actually be on the soft tires because Cody's displays it differently. So he's trying to get a quick lap here and make it a 2-stop. So we'll see what happens. As Batman is now closing hard on Buttersocks. We'll see what kind of move he can make out of the corner here. Makes it easily by. So Batman is on a charge now after that phone call. After joining back in the session, he's ready to go and make his way towards that podium. And unfortunately, I think so Sensational has joined back in as well. But he had that wing damage, which didn't help at all. As Redeemer is looking to catch him now too. As your top 6 have yet to make a stop, and everyone else on the grid has. So there could be a few passes coming up here on track. We'll see what happens. As Redeemer is right on the tail of Sensational. He's got 4-lap fresher tires going into the final chicane here. Looking to make a move with DRS as Squirmy is right on the back of Sprightly B as well. So we'll hop on board with them. See all this action. He'll look for a move. As Squirmy makes it stick quite easily, as well as Sensational. Getting passed by Redeemer. He'll hold on the inside. We'll see. And unfortunately for Sensational, Redeemer gets by quite easily there. As well as Squirmy, who's on the soft tires now, making a charge back up to that second place position after his colossal front wing damage. As he now has a red tire in the front and a white tire in the back. What a sight there. Look at that. Beautiful Codemaster engineering. Love to see it. Oh, they're flashing now. It's complete dance party on the Mercedes of XGC Squirmy. As Hoping Corn now is right on the back of MRC Jules. None of these guys have pit yet. So we'll see now if Hoping Corn can make a move. Back on Jules, as Jules did to him earlier. Eases by him now with a DRS. Makes it through easy before breaking into turn 1. As Squirmy has now been passed by Sprightly. As Squirmy has spun yet again. That is very unfortunate for him. Hopefully he got no wing damage there. It may be due to the fact that his tires are constantly changing compound. So he'll look to make a drive back now. As Buttersocks has pit for the hard compound tires. So he'll be going to the end on those guys, bar any difficulties with his front wing. Jules getting DRS on Batman here. Sorry, Hoping Corn. Squirmy charging back with his red-colored tires. Sensational right on his front wing. Sprightly B gets a 3-second time penalty with multiple warnings. Track. Oh, as Sprightly B has spun and caused a colossal damage to Squirmy. What an incident that was. As Squirmy has retired from the session. I'm not sure if that was from damage or just leaving after all the front wing. Sprightly B seems to be completely done there. I would be surprised if he gets back on track. Looks like he'll be retiring from the session there. You can see him in the bottom right corner of your screen. That's unfortunate for him. We'll see if any of the other drivers suffer damage there. I don't think so. It may have just been Squirmy, which is quite unfortunate, as now Sprightly B is officially disqualified. Maybe out of frustration, he has left the game. That's unfortunate for Squirmy. He was doing well, on pace for a possible podium there. As we look at Batman now, who's up into the 5th place after his troubling start. Well, let's not rule out Orange Crush, who's now 1.4 seconds behind the leader of Cheesy Train. As LDR Redeemer is looking to unlap himself. He is on the softer tires, so this could prove difficult for the stewards, as no Orange Crush spins as well. That is very unfortunate for him, just as he was closing in on the leader. I'm so sorry. This, yeah. There it is. The timer was not updating there, but Orange Crush had a chance at the lead, but unfortunately it wasn't able to stick, and the pressure from the back marker of Redeemer may have gone to him. We'll see if Hoping Corn can now make a move on his teammate. We'll see if any team orders come into play. Not sure how bad the wing damage is, as Grago now gets by Batman, who has spun as well. This is a spin debacle of a race. Not sure if F1 race or spin convention. People have been going all around here, as Orange Crush does let Hoping Corn by, due to the fact that he has wing damage, completely severed left front wing there. Jules is now making a move. Jules in great position now for a possible podium fight, as he has yet to pit. As LDR Redeemer goes fastest. Your last place sitter setting the fastest lap. That shows how even this field seems to be at the moment. As Jules now gets ahead after Orange Crush's pit for a new wing. We'll see what tires he goes on till the end. Looks like the mediums are all set to go out. We don't know though, because Cody's may mix it up for us. Front wing on. Yes, those are indeed the mediums, so he'll be going to the end on those, I'm sure. As Alabama Outlaw is back in the pits again. It looks like those tires weren't working for him, and maybe he has to replace a wing. It's a dreadful start for him here. Yeah, it looks like he's going to get a new wing as well. After setting the pole lap, he's down into 10th place now with a new front wing adjustment. See if Redeemer can close in on him. Looks like he's too far back to make any move now. But Alabama Outlaw may be going for fastest lap here as he goes onto the soft tires, but he's still got to pit again, which will give him a total of 3 stops for this race, which may not be the quickest way of going about things. As Redeemer sets another fastest lap, but again, he's outside the points, so that lap, extra fastest lap point, will not count unless he gets inside the top 10, which at this rate and this pace, it looks like he may very well do. As Batman has now pitted as well for the hard tires, so he'll be done with his pit stops if he doesn't get any wing damage. As Jaylee Bones has left the session after spinning, I wonder if that was on purpose or due to connectivity issues. But in the meantime, Alabama Outlaw is gaining back on him, trying to make up those places after spinning a few times. Sensational now has pit for the second time, I believe, after front wing damage on the first couple laps. He'll be going to the end now on the what seems to be hard compound tires. Cheesy Train, your leader, has yet to pit, and he's just pulling away from the field now. As we have Squirmy in chat, Cody's has been playing around with this race all day long. Beautiful helicopter view down the main straight of the Circuit de Catalunya. Not a bad spot for a venue. Plenty of scenery around. Pretty nice cars to watch too. As Jules has finally pit after 16 laps on the medium tires. That man stretched those tires, let me tell you. Good on him for not being one of the spinners of this race, as I'd say about 75% of this field has spun at least once. As Orange Crush goes fastest on the mediums with a 122.4. He's looking to make up time now after getting that front wing damage. But Jules will get passed by Orange Crush as Denver Glover has left the session now. Unfortunate first race for him as he wasn't able to connect properly. So Alabama sets the fastest lap on the soft tires, closing in on Sensational. We'll see if he can make a late dive bomb here, as he does. But Sensational sticks with it on the inside, and will have to concede. But we'll see if Alabama can make another move into turn 3. Nothing doing there. May have to wait for another DRS zone. He is on 2 compound softer tires, so Sensational is really going to have to hold him off here. As he goes down the inside. Oh, it spins! I'm not sure if there was contact there, but Alabama has spun. That is super unfortunate for him. That's another spin for him. Dreadful, dreadful first race after such a stellar qualifying by the Alabaman gunslinger. Sensational in the safe zone now, as he was getting pressured hard by Alabama Outlaw. As J. Lee Bones' Ghost is closing in on Alabama Outlaw. Squirmy, yeah, we caught that incident. Caught me by surprise when I saw the car too, so there's nothing you could do there. It's unfortunate, especially when you're battling someone right there. But you'll have to go back and clip that later after this, and we'll take a look at it. But Cheesy Train, 17 lap old tires, as Hoping Corn has closed the gap by a couple tenths now. Nothing too significant, as Cheesy now dives into the pits to change on to what I'm thinking will be the medium tires. We'll have to see what Hoping Corn does. He'll stay out, looking to do the overcut, as Hoping Corn now inherits the lead after 18 laps on his tires. We'll see where Cheesy Train comes out, as Garago now passes him in the pits. Looks like Orange Crush will be too far back to make any kind of move on Cheesy. Garago again will have to pit. There's probably no way he's going to make those mediums last to lap 33. So right now, Cheesy is your provisional P1. But Hoping Corn definitely going to challenge him if he keeps his pace up. Take a look at the position change here from the beginning of the race. So we see, yeah, Hoping Corn up 11 places, now in P1, net P2. We'll see if he can extend this overcut and possibly challenge Cheesy Train in the final laps of this Grand Prix. We'll see if he decides to pit here. This could be the moment. Yes, he does. He's diving into the pit. And we'll have to see where Cheesy Train ends up as Garago rounds the final chicane, as well as Cheesy Train. This is going to be close, folks. Cheesy Train still cruising down this super long pit lane. Looks like, oh, Cheesy will have it easy, as Hoping Corn now gets his new tires on. And will come out well behind Cheesy Train. Yep, 7 seconds. So he lost a full second on that overcut. So the overcut attempt did not work, as well as Orange Crush, who now comes by his teammate. So both Toro Rosso boys are now 9 seconds behind Cheesy Train, with Grago inheriting the lead. But again, Grago will have to pit yet again. We'll take a look at those tires now, as Hoping Corn now has the fresher mediums, so he'll be looking to make a move on Orange Crush. We'll see if team orders come into play at all here. Hoping Corn slowly closing that gap. He gets the DRS as Grago finally pits now. We'll see where he comes out, as Jules is also coming down the straight, followed by MRC Batman. It's going to be close, as he'll be too far back to make a move, as Grago now has softer tires than Jules. We'll see if Jules can make any sort of comeback at him, as Batman seems to be closing. And as soon as I say that, Batman gets a little squirmy, so he'll lose a lot of time there. Hop on back with Hoping Corn. Gets DRS now. He may be saving some some ERS to try and overtake him on the main straight. As Cheesy Train now sets the fastest lap at 121.4 on the medium tires. Blistering pace. Hoping Corn drops back a little too far and unable to keep within DRS range. There we go. And our stream information has finally been updated from Twitch. So we do indeed have the correct title now, as Hoping Corn seems to be dropping back a couple tenths. So Orange Crush definitely pulling away. But later in the race, Hoping Corn will have 5 lap fresher tires, which may play a huge factor in the final stages of this Grand Prix. But currently, Sprightly B, we do not want to view his gamer card. Sorry, folks. We want to view Cheesy Train coming down the main straight, as he's been. Orange Crush gets a 3-second time penalty. This could prove interesting. Let's see if Hoping Corn has a penalty as well. Hoping Corn has 3 seconds as well, so this will be an even straight up battle between the two, if Hoping Corn can close in on Orange Crush. Right now he's pulling away, but in the meantime, Batman is cruising in the Red Bull Batmobile up towards MRC Jules. As it seems that Orange Crush is slightly closing in on Cheesy Train. He used to be at 11 seconds, and now it's down to 10. So we'll keep an eye on that up there. Right now, MRC Batman of the Red Bull is closing in on MRC Jules, as well as MRC Sensational closing in on Buttersock. So the Red Bull both making late charges here. DRS on board here, but he'll be too far back to make a move. Sensational is now within 9/10. But he'll be too far back as well. We'll hop on board with MRC Batman going into the final sector. See if we can get a clean exit, as Jules seems to have caught some of the curb there. Batman in prime position now, activates DRS, stays outside of the slipstream. Jules using as much fuel and ERS as he can, taking the inside. And he'll hold that position well, as we'll hop on board with Sensational, who now has DRS. It goes on the inside after Buttersox tries to defend, and he'll make that move quite easily with the help of DRS and all his extra fuel. Great move there by MRC Sensational, diving down the inside of Buttersox, as Batman is now trying to make a move. And we'll see if Sensational can catch his younger brother in the other Red Bull. As we take a look at that leaderboard, Orange Crush now 9.5 seconds. So he's closed the gap to about a second a lap here, which means that we'll have a crazy final lap if he's able to keep this pace up. He is also on 4-lap older tires, so Cheesy Train may make a pretty good move. As we have a yellow flag in Sector 1, I wonder if that's anyone worth noting. It's like Alabama Outlaw? Not sure there, folks, but we'll hop back on board with MRC Batman, rounding the final corner. Seems a bit too far back from Jules. I wish I could tell him to hop into that slipstream and help him out a bunch. Not using it as effectively as he'd like. Looking for a move, as Redeemer gets a 3-second time penalty. So that'll drop him back quite a bit, as he already has a penalty from previously in the race. So Batman, after 2 laps in DRS, is unable to make a move on Jules. Jules doing a good job of defending here. Orange Crush now still 9 seconds behind. Not making any progress, seems to be now getting further away from Cheesy Train. Batman still with DRS. Able to close in pretty close to Jules. Goes a little too far deep in that corner. Hopefully he can get a good exit out of the final chicane onto the main straight with the help of DRS. As Jules misses that apex as well. Right on the gearbox of MRC Jules, causing Batman to have to slow up out of the final corner. But he's still, again, right on his tail with DRS. Jules trying to break that slipstream. Batman not going for it, as he won't have enough speed, even with DRS, to catch him. So Jules doing a good job of defending here in the aid of slipstream. Battle between Cheesy Train and Orange Crush is pretty standstill right now, as Orange Crush isn't gaining or losing any time to our Renault leader. It's Batman now on lap 3 of DRS zone behind Jules. He's unable to make a move. Definitely going off the line, getting in the wing mirrors of Jules, trying to mess him up. As he goes way deep in that corner and almost hits Jules. Jules doing a great job of keeping him back. As Batman cuts the final corner, I wonder if that'll be a warning for him, but no penalty. So he's even further back now. Jules ever so slightly pulling away after that lap. as we see the ghost of Jules's teammate as they're about to lap him as well. Batman right on the gearbox at the racing point, but just unable to make anything happen. He'll have DRS, but he's still, again, too far back. So as it stands, MRC Cheesy Train will extend his gap to J. Lee Bowens by another 26 points. So he'll be 52 points ahead in the championship if this position holds, as Batman's still, again, right on the gearbox of MRC Jules. We'll see if he can make a move this time. But unfortunately for Batman, Jules is able to grab DRS off his ghosted teammate. So an unintentional team orders there, helping Jules out, pulling away. As if we look in Orange Crush is now making a little bit of time on Cheesy Train. We'll see if he maybe made a mistake. Oh, he had to get by a back marker. That could have costed him a little bit of time. Here comes Batman. Right on the gearbox of Jules. Sticking his nose up close and personal as he just gets too far back out of that final chicane, so he's unable to make a move. Unless Jules lost all his ERS, he won't be catching him anytime soon. Cheesy Train has now extended that gap to 10 seconds, so he's looking very comfortable up there in the lead. I believe he does have fastest lap as well, so we'll see. As Batman goes down the inside of Jules. But nothing doing, as Jules will now possibly go defensive. It's a great battle between these guys. Batman is just unable to make anything stick, and Jules is doing a great job defending. And they're keeping it clean. That's what we like here at MRC. As Batman late brakes and accidentally bumps Jules. I don't think he got any wing damage from that. That was too low of a speed. But it may cost him. As now Sensational, through all this, has gained 10 seconds to catch up to Batman. Was not watching for that one. He came out of nowhere. Didn't realize that was him. The Red Bull brother, older brother of Sensational, is gaining on Batman. Looks like he'll have plenty of ERS here to catch him. He's got DRS as well. We'll see if he'll make a move. As they come down into the corner. Sensational makes the move stick, so he'll be charging down now. Sensational on a crazy run here. We'll see if he can make a move on Jules even before the end of this lap. 3 laps left here in this Grand Prix. And Sensational trying to make up every single place he can after that front wing damage in the beginning of the race. We'll see if he can help his brother out too. Maybe get a double Red Bull overtake on the racing point of MRC Jules. Final stages of this race are spicing up in the midfield. Sensational did a good job of managing that ERS. Knows he won't make the pass there. See through the halo of that racing point. As Sensational is pulling his teammate along. We'll see if he can make a move here as Jules gets a poor exit out of the final chicane. Sensational pushing now. ERS into overtake, hiding that slipstream of Jules. We'll see if he can make a move. Goes on the outside. Jules goes defensive. And Sensational makes the move stick as Jules hits the grass. Great job by Sensational there. 2 passes. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. We'll see who it is, if there's any drastic change in time. Doesn't seem to be anything doing. But Jules still hot on Sensational's tail. As MRC Cheesy Train seems to have spun. That's the time change I was looking for. This is going to be spicy now, as Orange Crush is right on the tail of Cheesy Train after what seemed to be Cheesy Train spinning in Sector 2. So Cheesy Train will now be on the defense from Orange Crush, who has DRS. This will be a crazy final 2 laps here as Cheesy Train is now hot on his toes. We'll see if Batman can make a move here too out of the final corner. We'll go back on board with the leaders shortly. Jules gets a slightly poor exit, but it looks like he'll be too far back. We'll go back with Cheesy Train. What a finish this will be. I don't think either have penalties. Actually, I'm mistaken. Orange Crush does have a 3-second penalty. But let's pretend he doesn't. It matters where you finish on track. That's where the most respect is earned. As there's a yellow flag in Sector 1. And no, it looks like Jules has spun. I wonder if there's any contact there with Batman. We missed that battle. It's unfortunate for Jules as we see Buttersocks in his mirrors catching now. But right now, we're looking at Orange Crush, who's spinning quite a bunch, trying to get these tires last. They're 17 laps old. These are not the kind of wear you want on medium tires. As he bounces high off that curb, he's now 1.4 seconds back. He'll be out of DRS range. So good on Cheesy Train for recovering from that spin and able to pull away now from the charging Orange Crush. It's a bit of a tangle here between J. Lee Bones getting lapped again. At least his Ghost is. As Buttersocks is closing on Jules. And Batman. Oh! And Buttersocks has a puncture. I believe he has a puncture. That's incredible. He's on 20-lap old hard tires. And he's gotten a puncture. I think we hopped on board right as that happened. That's unfortunate for the McLaren driver. He's going to go ahead and try and just finish this race with a puncture, which is incredible. We'll see if he can stay 24 seconds ahead of Redeemer. This could be a close one. We'll see if he takes it safe. As Batman is passed by Jules. It looks like Batman may have, wing damage from that incident with Jules early on. We'll see what happens here, but we'll see if Buttersocks can take this to the end, as Redeemer has already closed 6 seconds in the first sector. This is going to be a close one for them, but we'll hop back on board with the leaders as Cheesy Train now heads around the final corner. The Renault of MRC Cheesy Train going down the main straight and crosses the line in first place. He's your winner of the Spanish Grand Prix for NAXBL Tier 3 as Orange Crush comes home in a clean second place, with Hoping Corn of the Toro Rosso coming home in third. That's a double podium for them. Great job with Toro Rosso. Grago coming home in fourth place. But we're going to hop back on with LDR Redeemer, who's already caught Buttersocks with his ruined tire. This could be very saucy if Buttersocks is able to defend well. He pushes him wide and Redeemer gets a position. That's unfortunate for Buttersocks that his tire did finish. We have Jules rounding the final corner as he's going awfully slow. I wonder if he's out of fuel or giving up the position to Batman after possibly causing him wing damage. I'm not sure. That's great sportsmanship from Jules, but in the end, Batman has penalties, so he'll be dropped below. Not sure if that was a taunt by Jules or a sportsmanship from Jules, but either way, MRC Batman's in 6th, and Jules in 7th as Redeemer crosses the line a couple seconds ahead of Buttersocks, and he'll have a time penalty as well to serve. So there you have it, folks. MRC Cheesy Train, your winner. Buttersocks coming across the line with a flat tire in 9th. What a race that was, and what an ending that was. There you have it. Cheesy Train, your podium and race winner. Surrounded by 2 Toro Rossas. Congrats to them both. We'll try and see if we can get them in our driver's lounge lobby. Let me hop in that there with them. See how much XP I earned from that race. Lovely. So Cheesy Train, your winner, followed by Orange Crush and Hoping Corn. Alabama Outlaw able to get up back into 10th place, secures the first point of his MRC career after setting pole position. But MRC Cheesy Train getting that fastest lap and full points, 26 points. We're going to hop now over to the interview booth. We'll grab those drivers' podium finishers for you very quickly here. Here we are. Thank you for joining us. We'll make sure this is connected properly. I am on push to talk. One moment, folks. There we are. Cheesy Train, our race winner. Welcome, and we'll try and get our other podium finishers in here as well. See if Orange Crush and Hoping Corn can get up in here. Just a moment, folks. That was a weird race for everyone. I think about every single driver spun, including yourself, if I'm not mistaken. I'll ask you shortly here once we get these guys in. Let's see what Hoping Corn has to say. All right. Well, while we're waiting for them to join, Cheese Train, how was that race, man? How was starting and making your way back up through the field?
Place, which was very, very good because then I could start within the top 10 and everyone else around me was on older tires or like softer tires that weren't going to last. And then went to like, I realized my tires were just shot and I was running lean and none, like not like braking for the uphill right hander, taking everything so slowly. Then I pitted. I come back out. I never actually had to overtake anyone. It was just pits, and then we go in and come around the same corner that I crashed in qualifying. I come around and I spin, and I mean I go, oh shit, and then go out onto that little road, go back on track, and then I was kind of scared that Quest was gonna get me, but then I remembered Jeff. The one good thing he's ever done is tell me that Orange Crush has a penalty, so that was fine.
Can always count on Jeff. Well, awesome drive, man. Great job out there. It's fun to watch. Orange Crush almost had you there in the end, but in the end he had a time penalty anyways, so it wouldn't have mattered. But it was fun to watch those last few laps. We're gonna see if Hope and Corn's here. Yeah. Hey, man. How did your race go
Hey,
for you?
I was okay. Like, I don't know. Tires. It was all about tires. And like, sorry, English is not my native language. It's
No
not easy
worries,
for me.
man.
And I'm just so excited right now, and I cannot find words.
I'm very happy you're able to close off that double Toro Rosso podium. What was your strategy for this race going into it, and how did it change throughout the course of the race?
it didn't change. So the whole idea was to start on hard, on hards, and then switch to like mediums somewhere like in the second half of the race. And like that's exactly what happened.
Nice. Yeah, I think
And
you were one
yeah,
of the few that didn't have to replace his front wing.
right. Yeah, yeah. I was trying to be extremely careful, especially in the first 10 laps. I was driving so slow just to make sure that I'm not like crashing into anybody and so on.
Definitely, yeah. It was fun to watch, man. Yeah, you and Orange Crush did an excellent job. I'm gonna see if I can find him. I don't know where he's at. Seems to be still in lobby. He may have already left, but we'll wait
Yeah, I almost got
30 seconds.
him like after my pit stop,
Yeah, you guys were
but then
very close
pulled
coming
away.
out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, well, yeah, I think we'll go ahead and call it there. I think Orange Crush has already gone home to celebrate his podium. But congrats, guys, on the win, and thank you all for watching the North American Xbox League Tier 3 Spanish Grand Prix. We'll catch you next time.